I mean, I liked NRG. It's a nice org to be in. I invested a lot of my life with this org through like CS and here. So, I mean, if they feel like they don't value my whatever I'm bringing, then it's fine.
This is the last interview, I believe, for you for you this year. So no intro. We're just gonna get started like this. Chet, thank you so much for taking the time. I mean, losing 12-5, letting C9 win. It's, I believe, the worst way that one can absorb a result. But unfortunately, it happened to you guys. Just sort of starting off, how are you feeling?
Uh, I guess I'm disappointed. Like we had a pretty good plan, and I mean, for pretty much every map, we're pretty like well aware of what was gonna be going on. And I guess we just fumbled a few rounds. So I mean, just like the momentum just shifted in their favor, especially the last game, last map.
Then I gotta ask, obviously, about what happened in the comeback. I mean, you guys were in that position, 12-5 up, having around 7 series points in second half. Cloud9 started to come back. I mean, what was going on in the team from your point of view, and how difficult was it to just uh, put the series to bed at that time?
I mean, we had like some solutions. Like at the halftime, I kind of like gave some setups to try. But then I think maybe we stopped trusting the setups like later, or maybe I mean that's maybe like a couple like one or two rounds, not every round. Maybe also, it's hard to say without looking back, but they kind of exploited our rotates like with their smokes, like kind of bringing us a lot towards mid when they weren't mid, and then they had opportunities to hit sites like B and A, which were pretty light. Like maybe our aggression wasn't enough. That could be something else. Like maybe we weren't aggro on the extremities enough. Like we just didn't have good reactions to like what I mean. We didn't know what they were gonna do like with this composition. Like we didn't know like any splits or anything, so we're kind of just like adapting on the fly, like as all six of us. Like we got into good positions, but then we also failed the retakes, which when we did get in a good spot, we just couldn't close those.
And then, like, how did you view kind of just the team sort of overall form and in the later stages of that second half? I mean, once uh, C9 was in the midst of that comeback and they were actually forced overtime, what was going through your head at that moment in time when you saw the potential of the C9 pulling off a result like that? What was going through your mind before that actual result happened?
I mean, I I thought we could have it under control because our attack side's fine on that map. So we wanted to like keep up the same game plan, I guess, like in the first round of the OT. So I mean, there was confidence in going into it. It just that's why I was like, I get an extra pause for the defense. So I was like, okay, like it should work out fine. I was just gonna try like something that we're gonna try like a mixture of like something that FNS wanted to do and something I wanted to do. So we tried to make something work for the defense, but ultimately that just didn't work out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I believe after the series ended, I believe you guys took a little bit of a time to just go over thoughts, quick conversation before coming over here to talk to me. What were some of the things that you said to the team, after the result and just having to try to absorb this elimination from the league?
I mean, people are mainly going over like we're mainly talking about like the plays that were going on, like especially that 4v2 like retake that we lost at the very last round of the regulation. Because some people had different opinions on how to play it, and I mean, whatever ended up happening obviously didn't seem like the best thing. So, we're just trying to like we were still like trying to think of like ways like we could have won or punished them. Um, I mean, we like I said, I feel like some of the setups we didn't trust too well, so that ended up and it made our rotates really bad. Like our rotates just got really worse because we're just like constantly back and forth, and they're able to exploit that. It just thins out our side holds, and the sites are just too free. Like they get too many free sites, and then the 2 rounds they actually did go mid, like ended up working in their favor because that was like the rounds we didn't play for mid. So I mean, yeah, there hasn't been that much time to talk about it though.
Yeah, I mean, this series definitely had those critical moments, especially including the one you talked about. And also, I believe there was that the reverse situation where Sam pulled off that like 2v4 clutch earlier
Yeah.
on in the series, just sort of back and forth. But unfortunately, it went C9's way, and as a result, as I said, elimination. A pretty devastating result to stomach, given the fact that you know plenty of expectations were for this team and its players, including yourself as the coach. Just talking about the elimination, given all this time to that you've spent just trying to put in the team, model the team, execute the things that you needed to execute in the server. What do you think? Just what's the biggest issues that the team had from your point of view this year?
Like the whole year collectively. I mean, split one. I felt like we just didn't work super hard like we should have. Like we we may have not, but like I feel like our goals weren't like in line of like what we wanted to do. And the culture like was fine, but I felt like it was like it was like a front. Like it was like it felt good, but like it didn't actually like it actually wasn't good. Like we weren't synergizing that well, and role wise was terrible. Um, then I mean split two. I mean I felt like roles were better, but defensively we were like a really bad team. Like we went over a lot of like defense stuff, especially this last 2 matches. But like before that, we were pretty like confident in the maps we were picking and the ideas we had. But I think like I said, our setups like we don't trust them sometimes, or like yeah, I mean we lack aggression sometimes as well, which like we play pretty like textbook I would say. Like we don't get outside of the playbook too often, and that's probably like a negative on like why defensively we average such few rounds.
Just a matter of just having to not be able to just get up to the same speed collectively, right? I think that's what you're trying to. That's like the essence of what just happened to this team, right?
Yeah, exactly. We also were like catching up because we made like 2 big changes in our team.
Uh, Talking about that, I mean, with some FNS coming into the fold mid-season with a little bit of time into this in at your hands. I mean, how'd you kind of look at the things that they tried to implement amidst the time crunch from the time they joined up until now?
I mean, they brought good stuff. Like Sam brings really good energy to the team, and he like obviously individually is very good. There's things like we could have definitely done better, but I mean he did bring a lot of value, especially in the controller role. So respects for him. And same thing with FNS, like our attack stats like significantly improved with him calling. Just like also the mid rounds and like there was a lot more trust in the system. I think he just like people had a lot more like trust in like what was being said there, and like it also helped set Victor up. Like it just shifted the team's dynamic where like I mean obviously there's a role changes as well from like split one to split two. So Victor was able to like shine a little bit more because of like having FNS.
As I said, plenty of expectation was put into the team, and earlier on in the season, uh, many people expected you guys to not see your season end here. The goal obviously was get to champions and just do well there. Um, as a result of this, people will see this as a failure. Do you feel that as well as that as well?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much just like it's just a bad result. So I mean, we didn't succeed in anything. I mean, even if, honestly, if we made playoffs, it probably would have been slightly a struggle, but maybe we could have made it. Because I'm just wasn't super confident defense sides right now, but it did show improvement slightly. But yeah, if we worked on our defense, then maybe like things could have been a little bit better.
I want to now talk about the future, if you can. First off, how do you kind of look at your future after this? Do you kind of see yourself continuing with NRG next year?
Uh, Probably if they want me to. Otherwise, like, we'll see. I mean, it's like really early for me to say that. Like, I actually don't know. Um, I mean, I liked Energy. It's a nice org to be in. I invested a lot of my life with this org through like CS and here. So, I mean, if they feel like they don't value my whatever I'm bringing, then it's fine. I mean, I have to respect that. So we'll see.
Um, since I believe now is the perfect time to ask you. There was a report earlier on in the season from HLTV about you possibly returning to CS. Do you have any comment on that? Is there a possibility for that to happen?
Um, that's a no comment situation. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. What about for the rest of the team? You Sam, FNS, or anyone else? Do you kind of what's the future for them? Do you kind of see them also maybe remaining in NRG or anything else of that nature?
I mean, yeah, I expect like the team to probably stay together, but I mean, whatever contract situation happens, I mean, can explore obviously. I mean, I actually don't know what the expiration dates for anyone's contracts are right now, but I mean, some FNS and like I know mine is like decently long too. So I mean, kind of depends on like what direction Energy wants to take it, and I'm sure we'll probably like talk about that pretty soon.
Yeah, for sure. Chet, I mean, for you to do this real quick and just having to give me an interview after losing a series like this, really do appreciate it. And it was a pleasure talking to you for so many times during this season, be it stage one, stage two, even right now. Um, that said, no more questions. I'll just ask you, or I'm just gonna give you the final words if you want to say to anyone.
Um, you know, appreciate people supporting. I know there's a lot of I mean, I do get a lot of hate, which I guess is justified. Like, it's whatever. I still tried my hardest. We all tried our hardest. Just some things just end up not working out the way you think it will, and you learn from it. Like, we'll learn from it, but obviously we can't show it until whenever we can show it. So, our bad, and we'll just try to be better for whenever we can play again.
Chet, thank you so much for taking the time once again for this interview. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of the times you've given me an interview. And that said, best of luck in the future. If I do talk to you, hopefully, I'll talk to you later. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.